Hi everybody, it's me, Jackie Arment. I'm back again with another fun video. Today we are going to get started on some of the projects for our Halloween party that we're having this year. I know that it is technically May and that might seem early for some people, but I spend all year working on my Halloween party so that we have as many things and decorations and all the details are there, and it takes months. If you haven't watched the planning video for this Halloween party, I can link it. We are having a superheroes and villains mixer is the theme this year. And we're gonna get started on one of the first projects toward it. Originally, I was gonna have this video be the start of my costume, my Halloween costume, but not all of the things are here yet. A lot of stuff I had to order online, and so it's not here yet. It'll just have to be like the next one towards this party, but basically what we're gonna do today is I want to make these little capes that go on the rim of your cups. I saw it on Pinterest. I thought it was really, really cute. To have like these little cups with these little capes, and I thought it would just be kind of fun to make a bunch of them, and if people wanted to use them, they could use them, and it might be kind of like a fun drink identifier. Like people could have that on their cup and remember, oh, my cup had this cape, and that might be kind of fun. I think this is also going to be a pretty easy project as well, and I kind of needed an easy start for this party. There are some projects coming up that are going to be bigger undertakings, and I feel like I needed something small and easy to like cut my teeth on before we get into like the more insane things towards this party. But anyway, I'm excited to get going with this. I think it'll be a really easy craft and kind of fun. And in a little bit, I'll show you the supplies I've got. But before we get into all of that, I would like to say if this is the kind of content you like, if you like crafting, you like tutorials, you like costuming, or especially party planning, because I do a lot of that on this channel, that you would give this video a thumbs up, and you would also hit that subscribe button. Also, don't forget to ring the bell so you can be notified anytime I post a new video. It's Halloween all year long here, not just in October, so if you like that, then stick with us because it is a lot of spooky fun on this channel. Also, if you'd like to support this channel a little more personal way, I do have a Patreon. Patrons get lots of extra goodies, including extra content. I have 2 Patreon exclusive video series there. One is called TerrorTube. It's a horror host type show hosted by me, where I do lots of extra fun spooky things. I do movie reviews. I talk about some of my favorite like werewolves, or my favorite spooky Valentine movies, spooky Christmas movies. I make cocktails. I read ghost stories. It's just kind of like lots of fun stuff, extra fun spooky things. And that is for paid members. However, I do have another series there that is for free members, pretty much for all members to watch. But if you're a free member, which I have a lot of, this is for you. And it is called Friday Night Creepover. And they are just kind of chit-chatty fun videos where I kind of sit in my bedroom and we just kind of do stuff that you might do like at a slumber party with some of your friends. We watch movies together, we eat popcorn, we talk about makeup, the last one I did was a spooky Would You Rather, so I read some Would You Rather questions and answered them, and it's just kind of fun. It's just fun, relaxing vibes, so yeah, those anybody can watch. However, if you are a free member, you can watch some of the TerrorTube if you purchase the whole TerrorTube collection, which you can do, but I will say that it is maybe a little bit cheaper in the long run to just join for $3 a month, which is the lowest tier on Patreon. I also do some Patreon giveaways. I just recently did one last month. All members are included in the giveaways, but if you are paid, you have a little bit more of an advantage. So just keep that in mind if you are thinking about joining my Patreon. However, I, of course, do enjoy all my free members. I like doing extra stuff with you guys over there. So really think about it. If all of that sounds interesting, then go to patreon.com/JackieArment and think about joining our little spooky community over there. Okay, well, I guess all of that being said, I will take you guys in the craft room and show you my plan and the supplies I've got to make this little project. Okay, let's go. Okay, we're here in the craft room and I'm gonna show you guys the stuff and like the plan that I have for this project. So basically what we're gonna make these capes out of. Hi, Lydia. Oh, hello. Is we're gonna make them out of good old felt. Felt is easy. We can cut it and it doesn't unravel. And we don't have to sew anything. And if I'm gonna make a lot of these, I don't wanna have to sew. So I've got a whole bunch of different colors. I just kind of grabbed a bunch of colors at the store at Walmart because they were really cheap. Before I even knew what kinds of capes I wanted to do. I didn't know if I wanted to actually model them after actual superheroes or if I just wanted to make them all just like plain colors. And I think what I decided was that I did kind of want to model that after superheroes, at least some of them. I think maybe, I don't know, maybe some others I could just do plain, but I thought it would be fun to make at least some of them reminiscent of superheroes. So I looked up superheroes that I wanted to do capes for, and man, was it kind of hard to get a variety of colors because like there's a lot of superheroes that are mostly red. It's like red or black, and that's almost it. And I was like, man, I want some different colors though. So what I thought was, I figured like the main ones that I would do would be for like red, I would do of course Superman. So I thought Thor as well because he also has a red cape, and that I could maybe make some out of foam, the little brass things that he has that holds his cape on. I thought I could also maybe put, like with the Superman, I would definitely put Superman's symbol on the back of it, and that maybe I would do that with Thor too, like his little hammer symbol. Even though I know that's not technically on his cape, really, but it might allow people to be like, oh, that's Thor, you know, so that they would know. And I might kind of do that with all of them if I can. So I think those will be like the red capes. Black, obviously, we got Batman. So we're gonna do Batman's cape as black. I thought also that I would do the old school blue Batman cape as well, so we can have two different kinds of Batman capes, because there's not really any blue capes. I was trying to look and see who I could do a blue cape for, and there aren't really any. Maybe Raven from Teen Titans is technically blue, I guess, but you could argue she's also purple. But that I felt like was gonna be hard because she's got like a hood, and I can't really do that on a drink cup. So we're just gonna go with the old school Batman cape for the blue, and then also for the black. I got yellow, which I thought we could do yellow. Vision has a yellow cape, at least his old school outfit does. And since I'm doing a Scarlet Witch, I thought it would be good to have something Vision themed amongst everything. And his has got like kind of a high collar, so it's pretty recognizable. And I'll probably put, if he has like a little superhero symbol, which I'm sure he does, I could put that on the back of there. I thought the other yellow one we could do would be Robin. Now I know in some instances, Robin has a black cape and sometimes he has a yellow cape. Sometimes he even has a green cape. But I thought I would go with like the Teen Titans Robin, where his cape is black on the outside and then yellow on the inside. And I thought it would be kind of cool if I kind of glued these two together and did Robin's cape. That would be kind of fun. So Robin will be like, I guess, the other yellow cape. Now green, now I have two different color green. I think I'm gonna use this one. The only green cape I could really find that was recognizable, a superhero that was hero that was recognizable, it's technically a villain, is Loki. So I'm gonna do Loki's cape with the dark green, because we gotta have a villain in here somewhere, right? And I think those are gonna be the main ones that I'm gonna do. The superhero capes that actually are signed superheroes. I don't know, like I said, if I'll do other capes that are just plain. I could get some purple felt and do some purple capes. I don't know. I haven't decided. White, maybe, because I think there's some white. But I think those are going to be the main ones. If I think of more, you know, before the party, then I can make some more. But basically what we're going to use to attach them to the cup is just some elastic. Now I got some black elastic cord at Walmart. This was really cheap. There's 5 yards of this, and I think that will be plenty. And I think basically I'm just going to make a circle. I'm gonna maybe glue the 2 ends together, and then the part where it's glued together, I'm gonna have the felt folded over and glued on that so that it really stays closed. And you can stretch it over the lid of the cup. Now I'm gonna be using a solo cup probably to test this out. I don't know if we'll have different colored cups at the party. I found some cups on Amazon that I kind of want to get that have like they glow around the rim. They're like have little glow sticks, I guess, or a glow bracelet in the cup, which were kind of cool, and I might get those, but I think they're roughly like this size. So I felt like even if I make it a little smaller, you know, I'll make it a little smaller than the lid because you want it to stretch over. I think this will be a good judge. I probably won't make them as long as this cup. I'll probably make them shorter than this cup. And then that way, if we do have some other cups that are maybe a little bit shorter, they won't be like touching the ground. But I'm excited. I think this is going to be kind of cute. A cute idea. Ever since I saw it on Pinterest, it was really cute. I think the way that I'm going to put the little emblem or the symbol on the back of the cape, I think I'm just going to print out some on some printer paper or cardstock maybe and hot glue it to the felt. I thought about printing it on sticker paper and just sticking it on, but I'm afraid that the sticker paper might not stick to the felt very well, or it might not stick for a long period of time and it might just fall off. So I thought I would maybe paint it with like fabric paint, but I'm a little too lazy for that. And I think whatever I print on the computer will look more crisp than what I could paint on the felt, probably. So we're just gonna do that. It's easier, but yeah, this is probably gonna be a pretty easy craft, an easy start to the party stuff, and I'm excited. So, all right, I guess what I'll do first is I guess I'll maybe cut one cape and see how, you know, big I want it, how wide, how long. Determine that, and then probably just cut the rest of the capes all that size. Obviously with some differences because some have high collars, some of them don't, some blah 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 blah. And that's probably how we'll start things, is I'll probably do that first. If I get to it today, I will cut the elastic and glue it to all the capes, but if I don't, that will be tomorrow. But yeah, I guess that's it. So I guess we can get started here and get to making some capes. Okay, let's go. All right, so I start with the red because I felt like that would be the pretty most basic shape that I could, you know, kind of work from while making the other capes. I used the cup here to kind of figure out how big I want it and how long I want it. And of course, Lydia is here to make sure that I am doing everything correctly. And once I've kind of figured out how wide I want it, I make just like the tiniest little cut in the felt. And then I actually end up getting a pencil and drawing out the cape because I kind of wanted it to be a little bit tapered, so I wanted it to be wider on the bottom and smaller on the top. And I just make kind of a rough shape, and then I end up cutting that out and tracing it and kind of using it for all the other capes that I cut out. And now I'm just kind of, double checking and making sure it's looking the way I want it to. And of course, Lydia comes to help as well, again. Alright, and now I just start tracing and cutting for all of the capes. Now, most of the capes that I traced were about the same. There was only a few little differences, and here I'm going to kind of talk about it. Obviously, the blue and the black capes here, I end up making this little scalloped edge here to cut out so that it looks more like, Batman's bat wing cape. You'll see I do it here for the black one as well. And then with Vision's cape, I actually went up a little bit more and left some room for a high collar and cut that out. Alright, here's where I'm cutting Robin's cape, and the yellow portion I just traced the same shape as the red, the same basic cape shape, but then when it came to the black, I actually made it a little bit longer so that I had a little portion of the black felt to be able to fold over onto the elastic when I glue it on. I just didn't want to have it to be too thick. I didn't want to have to try to fold over two pieces of felt because I felt like that would be really hard to glue, so that's what I did with Robin's cape.
The next day.
Alright, it is day 2, and we're gonna glue the elastic on. So here I'm just kind of eyeballing how big I think the elastic should be for the cup. Kind of testing it out to make sure I'm not stretching it too far. I did want it to be a little smaller than would fit this cup because I felt like if we had some smaller cups, I didn't want it to be too loose for those. So I just cut a strap. I'm doing kind of a test here with one of the red capes, just in case it doesn't work. I didn't want to cut a bunch of elastic before I knew that it was going to work. And I'm just gluing the two ends together with the hot glue. I'm just kind of holding it there until it's really secure together. And then I take that part of the elastic and I'm going to glue it onto the cape and fold a little bit of the cape over onto the elastic as well to just really reinforce it and make sure it stays put.
And here I'm kind of just testing it out to make sure that the elastic is staying together and that it is staying on the cape and everything seems secure and I can stretch it over the cup. And obviously it takes some finessing, but it held together. I was pretty surprised that nothing broke or snapped, so it looked like we were pretty good to go, and I'm just going to do this to the rest of the capes. So I'm just going to jump in here real quick and just say that, obviously most of the capes were the same with gluing the felt over the elastic, but Vision's cape was a little bit different. I did not fold it over onto itself because I did not want to mess up the high collar that he has going on in his cape. So what I did was I cut some little strips out of some more yellow felt, and I just glued the little strip over the elastic, and that seemed to work really good, just about the same as it did with folding it over, and we got to keep his cool high collar.
Hi guys, it's day 3 now, I think, of this project, and I'm going to kind of show you just where we're at and talk about what we're going to do next. We're almost done with these and we might finish them today, so we got our little capes. I did 3 of each color, because that's about how much elastic I had. I think I have like 3 of each left to do out of all the ones I cut anyway. I mean, this is like a good amount, and I might not need to do more, but I might get some more elastic later at Walmart and do the rest. Do just all the ones that I have cut if I want to. But this is a pretty good amount for, I think, people to use at the party. So today, and I did test these out. I did put them over a cup. Now it is pretty tight on the solo cups, but it still works. It still looks pretty good. But I think anything we have that we get, it might be less than the solo cup, smaller than the solo cup anyway, so I think we'll be okay. And it is elastic, so it can stretch pretty good, but I think it'll be fine. But yeah, all that's left to do is put the little emblems on these. So we've got with the red ones, I've got Thor and Superman. We got Vision for the yellow ones. We got Robin for the black and yellow ones, and then the blue and black, we got Batman, and then the green we have Loki. Now, I think I'm going to try to put a logo on almost all of them. I don't know if I will on Loki's or not. I don't even know if he has a superhero logo. I will look it up. But I'm gonna try to, as many as I can, so that it's recognizable as what the superhero is, who it is. And then, other than that, which I'm gonna just print those on the computer, I'm gonna print them on cardstock. I think I might brush some Mod Podge over them, just so that they're like sealed. And then that way, if these get some spillage from a cup on them and water gets on them, that won't just like bleed and be gone. So I might do that before I glue them to the capes. And then with a couple of these capes, we have other little embellishments that I want to make out of some craft foam and glue on here. So like Thor, he's got these two little like metal, like round, like shoulder things that go with his cape, and I'm gonna put those on either side here. And then Loki has like a little thing here in the middle of his cape, which I'll try to put a picture. I think this is a reference picture that I'm using that I was gonna do to put on his cape. But other than that, I think that's it. Nobody else has any other crazy things. I will probably cut that stuff out of craft foam, like I said, and paint it gold. Or I might just draw with a gold Sharpie and do it, because they're not gonna be that big. And yeah, cut them out and just glue them on. So that's all we got to do today. It's just gluing the emblems on, gluing the other little embellishments on, the ones that take embellishments, and then they're done. That's it. They're done. So these are really cute, and I'm excited to use them. I'm already excited. They're really, really, really cute. And yeah, I'm really excited to use these at the party. They're gonna be so adorable. Anyway, all right, well, I guess that's what we're gonna get to work on and finish these up. Okay, let's go.
Okay, so now we're gonna make the little shapes out of foam for the Thor and the Loki capes. I'm just using this little stamp for wax seals to draw my circles. It ended up being like the perfect size. And then for Loki's cape, I just ended up drawing these little like shield shapes. One big one small one, and I'm gonna glue the small one to the large one and put it kind of in the middle of top of the cape. And I painted each one of them with gold paint. I realized that the gold Sharpie was a little too dark for my liking, so yeah, I just used paint, and it worked out pretty good. I ended up painting each of them with about 2 coats. That pretty much did the trick. Alright, and now I'm just using the gold Sharpie to add a little bit of embellishments to Thor's little shoulder armor. And I'm just kind of putting like a little circle on the inside and just adding some little lines around it, kind of like a little sun. Most of the pictures I looked at, that's kind of how it looked, so I just did that for all of them. And so now we are going to cut out the little emblems. I just found these online and just, you know, printed out as many as I needed for each cape. I did go over them with a layer of Mod Podge, some dishwasher safe Mod Podge, and let it dry before I started cutting them out so that, you know, they could be a little bit waterproof. And now I'm just gluing each of them on. Now, I will say, when I went to put it on after putting the hot glue on the back of the cardstock, it gets very hot on the other side of the paper. So when you go to try to like push it down onto the cape, if you're doing this at home, just be wary of that. It's really hot. It was really hard for me to touch it. So what I ended up doing was I just flipped the cape over and pushed down from the other side because the felt side, it wasn't super hot, and that seemed to work. But yeah, be careful because just even the cardstock, it gets really hot on the other side of the paper.
that's it. We're done. Here's the example of it on a cup. This is so cute. So you can drink it. I think that this turned out really, really cute. I think this size cup is actually kind of perfect. I think any bigger than this, it gets a little bit too much. Smaller would be fine too, but I think this is good. So I'm gonna try to see if I can't find cups that are like this when I shop for things, but this turned out really cute. I think they would also fit really good on Coke cans. Coke bottles too would probably work, so this is really cute. So that's the Superman one. Obviously, all of them you saw in the reveal, but we have Loki's. I wonder if I need to like put some like little horns coming out on his. I don't know. I haven't decided. I feel like it's not Loki enough. He didn't really have a very good symbol to put on his cape when I looked it up, so I don't know. If y'all have an idea, let me know. Maybe I'll experiment with that, because I have some more that still need to be made. But and then we got Batman. Still hot glue on some of these. We got Vision. His has got the little high collar, which is kind of fun. What is that? Huh? She says it's in my spot. And then we got old school Batman. Or animated series Batman, whatever you want to go with. We got Thor. With his little shoulder armor. Superman, which we saw. And then we got Robins, which are yellow on the other side, which is why I think having a clear cup would benefit, because then we would get to actually see the other side of the Robin cape. But yeah, that's it. That's them, all of them. I think they turned out really, really cute. I'm excited to use them. I still have more to make. Technically, I cut out this was only half of what I cut out of the felt. So I guess if I want to make more, I could probably make the elastic a little longer on those. And so then we have varying ones for bigger cups, ones for smaller cups. That might be a good idea if I decide to do that. So, but yeah, I think they turned out really cute. I'm excited to use them. I think the first project towards the party was a win. Also, I feel like these are fun because people could take them home if they wanted to. So it could be like a party favor as well. So yay, I'm excited. It's gonna be fun. So, all right. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video and you liked it and you hadn't already, please give it a thumbs up. And as always, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and don't forget to ring the bell so you can be notified anytime I post a new video. As far as new videos go, I think I'm going to do I need to look at my calendar that I've plotted out. But I think I'm going to do just a spooky craft next. And then the one after that will be my costume, will be the start of my costume. So my Scarlet Witch costume. I didn't want to have to do 2 party videos, superhero videos back to back, but I kind of wanted to break it up. But there's a craft I want to do that it's technically Halloween-y because I'm going to be using it around Halloween, but I want to just go ahead and make it. So I think I'm going to do that next and kind of break it up, and then we'll start on the work on my costume, which I am also really excited because some of this stuff has come in for that, so it's almost ready to go to get started on. I'm excited and a little nervous, but that's why we're starting early. Like I said, I've never made a superhero costume before, so especially one so intricate, so this is going to be new territory for me, but it should be fun anyway. So yeah, look forward to that spooky craft coming up next after this. And then obviously if you are looking for more content from me, you can go to patreon.com/JackieArment and think about joining there. You can be a free member or paid member, and you can enjoy all the content that's there. I promise a TerraTube is coming. I it's coming. I know it was technically supposed to come out last month, but it's coming out this month. I promise, I promise, I promise. But in the meantime, you know, there's other Terror Troops you can watch. You can purchase the whole series if you're a free member and you're not a paid member on Patreon and don't have access. You can have access if you just pay a lump sum, but it is technically cheaper to do the $3 a month, which is the lowest tier, and just have access to them as they come out. And then of course there's always the Friday night creepovers that are always available for any member to watch. Other than that, I will always leave my links to my social media in the description of this video. So my Instagram and TikTok, where things that maybe don't make it to YouTube end up there. Projects that I don't need a whole video for end up there. I will also leave a link to my Etsy shop, where I make spooky, witchy prop potions and stuff all year long. So if you're looking for spooky stuff like that you want to purchase that have been made by me, then you can check out my Etsy. And also, if you're new and you don't know, I do have 2 books that I have written that are available for purchase on Amazon. So if you want more from me that isn't just YouTubing, you can look there and think about purchasing one of my books. One is a zombie romance and one is a vampire adventure story. They're both available as paperback and Kindle versions, and you can read a little bit of the Kindle version before you buy it to see if it's your thing or not. They're both very spooky, good for spooky anytime or spooky season, but they're good for putting you in a spooky mood when it's not spooky season, I think. And then I will also leave links to my author website and my author Facebook page, where I try to update as much as I can on my writing and what I'm doing. There are 2 sneak peeks of a book that I am writing right now, which is about a young woman who's possessed by a demon. It's coming along, and I'm excited about getting it finished. So if you want updates or you want to read little sneak peeks of that and see if you're interested and to get excited about it, you can do that there. But yeah, I guess other than that, that's pretty much it. Like I've said in previous videos, I'm excited about the prospect for this party, for this theme, and just a bunch of the spooky projects I have planned that aren't party related. So yeah, I guess just stay spooky. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye! Lydia says bye.